Once upon a time, there was a young boy named Jan Kaun. He wasn't born into riches or luxury. In fact, he was born in a small village in Ukraine, where life wasn't easy. Jan lived with his parents and grandmother in a tiny apartment. They didn't have much, but they had each other. Life in Ukraine was tough. Money was tight, and there were days when Jan's family struggled to put food on the table. But despite the hardships, Jan had big dreams. He was curious and loved tinkering with electronics. Whenever he could, he would take apart old radios and televisions, trying to understand how they worked. When Jan was 16, his life took a dramatic turn. His family decided to leave Ukraine and start a new life in America. It wasn't an easy decision, but they believed it was their best chance for a better future. So, they packed their bags and said goodbye to everything they knew. Arriving in America was both exciting and overwhelming for Jan. Everything was different: the language, the culture, the people. But Jan was determined to make the most of this new opportunity. He enrolled in school, but it wasn't easy. Jan didn't speak much English, and he struggled to keep up with his classmates. To help support his family, Jan took on odd jobs after school. He worked as a grocery bagger, a cleaner, anything he could find. But no matter how hard he worked, money was still tight. There were days when Jan wondered if things would ever get better. Despite the challenges, Jan never lost sight of his dreams. He was still fascinated by technology and spent hours teaching himself how to code. He devoured books and online tutorials, soaking up as much knowledge as he could. And slowly but surely, his hard work began to pay off. One day, Jan had an idea. He noticed that many people were starting to use a new thing called the internet to communicate. But he also noticed that there were no easy ways to send messages from one person to another. That's when the idea for WhatsApp was born. Jan teamed up with a friend from college, Brian Acton, and together they started working on their new app. They worked day and night, pouring their hearts and souls into their creation. They faced countless challenges along the way: technical glitches, funding issues, you name it. But they never gave up. Finally, after months of hard work, WhatsApp was ready to launch. Jan and Brian released it to the world, not knowing what to expect. And to their amazement, people loved it. The app quickly gained popularity, spreading like wildfire across the globe. But success didn't come easy. Jan and Brian faced setbacks and obstacles at every turn. They had to fight off competitors, navigate tricky legal issues, and scale their infrastructure to keep up with the growing demand. But through it all, they remained determined and focused on their goal. And then, the moment they had been waiting for arrived. Facebook came knocking on their door, offering to buy WhatsApp for a staggering $19 billion. It was a deal that would change Jan's life forever. Today, Jan Kaun is a billionaire, but he hasn't forgotten where he came from. He still remembers the days when he had nothing, and he's grateful for every opportunity that came his way. He's become a role model for aspiring entrepreneurs everywhere, proving that with hard work, determination, and a little bit of luck, anything is possible. So, the next time you send a message on WhatsApp, take a moment to think about the incredible journey of Jan Kaun, a boy who went from rags to riches and changed the world in the process.